only on Christ 17 TV, back upside your head with another one, player. Today, we got MLB Players I Grew Up On, episode 6. And today, we got Eric, a.k.a. the Red Davis. One of my favorite players to watch growing up, even though his career got shortened by a lot of fucking injuries. Playing on turf and doing all kind of things. But when he did play, the guy was one of the best in the game. Two-time All-Star. Home Run Derby winner. 1990 World Series champ. 17 years. 9 with the Reds, and then he had 2 here, 2 there, 1 here, too many teams to count. Dodgers, Giants, a few more places. I think the White Sox too. 1987, the guy had 37 home runs, 100 RBIs, 50 steals, and 120 runs scored, and was right there in the top to win the MVP for the NL that year, but fell a little short. Then he had this year when he had 27 bombs, 71 ribbies, but get this, 80 stolen bases. That kid was electric. So he had 282 career bombs, 349 career steals, won the Gold Glove 3 times, Silver Slugger twice, and was the first player in MLB history with 30 home runs and 50 steals in the same year. First. But injuries killed his career. And I'm going to tell you this. Them Cincinnati Red teams back then were something else, boy. When they had Jose Rio, Norm Charlton, Rob Dibble. I want to say they had Paul O'Neill then. They had a lot of great players. Barry Larkin, Chris Sable. I mean, that team was stacked. And Eric Davis was a very fun player to watch. I'm talking about injuries killed his career. This guy would have hit 500 home runs and probably stole about 600 bases if he didn't get hurt. And with no doubt was one of the most exciting players I got to watch growing up. Eric the Red Davis. I mean, when you think of Cincinnati Reds in the 90s, early, like, and I'm saying right, maybe late 80s, early 90s, you got to think of Eric the Red Davis. The guy was amazing. All-Star, Gold Glove, World Series champ. The boy would steal bases like this. I mean, he get on first, he'll probably be on third before you know it. And in left field, oh my God, you talking about making spectacular plays. You talking about having an arm, gunning motherfuckers at home, gunning motherfuckers at third, second base. He was something special to watch. But injuries, he played 17 years, but towards the end, he was getting 50 games a year, 65, 75. He wasn't getting those 140, those 150. Injuries messed him up to make his numbers not be as high as they should be. Kind of like Trout. You see how Trout is? I'm not saying Eric Davis would have hit 600 bombs, but I will say this: he probably would have stole about 700 bases. I tell you that he was swiping 50 with ease. He stole 80 in 1 year. Check out, this is the craziest thing. He had more steals than RBIs in what it was in 1986. I mean, shit, he had 71 RBIs and 80 steals. How do you steal more than you drive in runs when you got 27 bombs, 71 ribbies? The kid was just something special to watch. And I remember collecting his cards. And I'll never forget when they fucking swept the Oakland A's in the World Series in 90. Right after the A's came off a big World Series win versus the San Francisco Giants, the year that the earthquake hit during the World Series. I'll never forget, I was sitting in New York watching that game when the shit started shaking and the game went off. And then they said, yeah, there's an earthquake, and I didn't know what was going on because I still have family out there. So I didn't know if it was like the whole... I was young still, so I didn't know if that my grandma was going to be hurt, my sister, my friends. Like, it was crazy, but I remember that like, bro, like it was yesterday. But Eric Davis, a.k.a. The Red, and then he leaves the Reds, and then he goes up to all these teams for like 2 years here, 2 years there, a year there, a year there. When with the Reds, he was dynamic. Oh boy, guy was amazing. And I will say this, clutch. Fucking clutch. Not scared of the big moment by far. I mean Gold Glover. I mean straight professional. I mean home run, fast. He was the complete package at that time. At that time, he was the complete package. And he was fun to watch, and I used to have his cards. I used to always like, man, Eric Davis is the man. He was the all-star for the Reds besides Barry Larkin. And you will have a Barry Larkin one coming in very soon too. But I just had to do one about Eric, a.k.a. the Red Davis, the all-star, two-timer, home run derby, 17 years, 9 with the Reds. And the guy had that year, man, where he had more steals than RBIs that had 27 bombs. 80 steals, 71 ribbies. That's unheard of. First in history to 30 shots and 50 steals. So with that being said, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It won't cost you a dime. And like I tell you, every time around this time, we're going to go back in the day and talk about the MLB players I grew up on watching. And this is what? Episode 6. Eric the Red Davis. One of the most exciting players to watch in my childhood, and it was an honor to get to watch him play. And like I tell you, every time around this time, baby, Christ 17 TV will definitely catch you on the flip side, and we coming with episode 7 very soon. So stay tuned for more MLB players I grew up on. And with that being said, Eric Davis, if you would have got to play more years, who knows where them numbers would have fell. But it was an honor seeing you play, and Christ 17 will catch you on the flip side, player.